Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is Burn the Ship. The goal of Burn the Ship is to connect entrepreneurs with professionals that can help you go all in on your business. We really want to talk to people that have walked the walk and talked the talk and experienced all the things that we all experience in the small business world. And because it's a crazy thing, it's a crazy experience, and everybody's experience is a little bit differently, or everybody experiences it a little bit differently. But we hope to take some of those skills that you have and bottle them up and teach some of the people that kind of want to be in that same space. So without stealing all your thunder, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and your business?
Well, I love that. I'm Christy Wilson, CEO and co-founder of Woo's IT and Next Level Connected. We own several other businesses as well, some restaurants, medical practices, all that good stuff.
What's your favorite?
My favorite is probably Next Level Connected.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
And the reason for that is really the mission, which I will touch on, but I love the ability to empower and uplift others. And so Next Level Connected kind of ties everything we have together. And it also allows me to partner with vocational rehabilitation and some other organizations to offer meaningful career opportunities to individuals with disabilities that maybe thrive in a work from home environment.
Sure.
So
Absolutely. I've done a little bit of my homework, so I have some more questions about that. But tell me a story. Tell me kind of how you got into the business world. You know, where this entrepreneur kick came into you.
yeah, absolutely. So both my husband and I were in the corporate world for quite a while. He had a big IT background, programmed for NASA, launched a lot of Boeing's global things. And I was more business strategy and building infrastructures. So back before it was cool, like 2002, not to date myself, but I was building virtual call centers before work from home was a thing. So it was great being able to build something from nothing for somebody else.
Right.
But I got to a point where I thought, you know what? I've learned a lot.
Yeah. The somebody else part gets
That's
less
right.
attractive. Yeah.
Exactly. I could be doing this for us and not only just for us, but for others, because it allows you to be able to control the focus and the mission of the company and be able to help others and do it maybe a little bit different in a unique manner. So that's where I got my starter, that spark that ignited to let's go into entrepreneurship.
And what was step one of that journey when you decided you wanted to own something for yourself? What did that look like?
So believe it or not, the IT company came first. And what happened was Josh, my husband, and I, we were both in the corporate world still. And we came across so many individuals that owned businesses themselves in our network that were just being overcharged, taken advantage of in the IT world, being told inaccurate information. And we would hear these stories about the team that they're paying, maybe a doctor or an NP, somebody they're paying a large amount for to do a specific task. They're spending hours a week trying to track down a digital x-ray vendor because this isn't coordinated with their computer and the x-rays aren't spitting out right. And so we started out actually just trying to help people in our network, and we formed the LLC because we thought, legal purposes, let's protect ourselves and others. And so we get in there, and I mean, the first couple years, we take on one client, and suddenly, without spending a dime on marketing, we've gone in a couple of years from 0 to 7 figures. And it was like, okay, it's time, let's go. And so it was actually not planned to go full out. We thought it was going to be a side gig.
Sure.
And here it is, our main thing.
So tell me that moment where it becomes your main thing. That we call, by the way, we call that our burn the ship moment.
Burn the ship. So my burn the ship moment actually came a little bit later. Josh's burn the ship moment, my husband, that came sooner because he was running the day-to-day ops. But
and I guess it was more in line with what you were already doing.
That's right.
Day to day. Right?
Exactly. The burn the ship moment for me came when we launched Next Level about a year and a half ago. And it was like Next Level was built to be a sister company to the IT. And it says, we'll do your back end administrative, we'll do business consulting and coaching, help you grow your business, digital marketing, and we'll tie it in with seamless technology integration. So at the moment when I launched that and had my mission in place of we can employ individuals with disabilities that benefit from work from home. We can help all these small business owners level the playing field so that they're up on the level of a large corporation getting an executive and their team. And we could do it here. That was my burn the ship moment. It was like, all right, put my notice in for my corporate job, and it was all in. I mean, that was it. And it was a little bit scary. I'm not going to lie. It's scary to take that leap because, you know, when you're teetering between the two, it's like, I still have this to fall back on, right? Corporate's still there to fall back on. But when you take that leap and it's like, all right, it's on me.
Right.
Like, I gotta get this going. Yeah, absolutely.
So in my logical thought process makes me think that with Next Level Connected, you probably went after either companies that you're already working with on the IT side or companies that you knew a lot about the ins and outs of. So what was like that initial client base? What was that initial push from?
So our first client was from our database of current clients within the IT realm. And as we saw, again, even though their technology was working great, they were taking high-paid team members that were supposed to be doing a specific task, allowing them to grow and take on more patients.
And giving
Instead,
them menial stuff.
Exactly. Administrative back-end tasks. They're making calls to patients who haven't been in the office in several months, and they're trying to follow up, and they're trying to track somebody down with invoices and manage this property and get somebody out here to clean this. And it was like, what a waste. It's like inefficiency at its best. So that was really the purpose was, okay, let's partner with the IT organization and offer a one-stop shop, a centralized point of contact. You call one place. No hassle, simplified. Call us, we'll take care of it. Oh, you need somebody to make the patient calls? We'll do it. Need somebody to do your invoicing? We'll do it. Oh, and by the way, everything's working seamlessly. Your ISP went down. Your digital x-rays are spitting out wrong. Just call us. We'll figure it out. We'll coordinate with whoever we need to coordinate with, including vendors.
Yeah, absolutely. That's tough to do though, huh?
It is tough.
Tell me a little bit about kind of the execution.
So it can be a challenge because it's so diverse. It's great in that it offers that, but it can also be a challenge to ensure we have the experts in each place because it is so diverse. So we found early on mistake we made. I guess let's just throw. I'll be honest. I tell people
it's probably the only one, right?
No. And if you're going to jump into entrepreneurship, one of the biggest skills, and I know you haven't asked me about skills, but one of the biggest skills that I found helpful is to train yourself to become dynamic, right? I'm a competitive dancer, so one of the big analogies I always use is when we're learning the choreography to compete on stage, the first few times you're counting constantly. I mean, you're really hyper-focused. But as you get to the end of the season and you're up there at nationals going, you're not even counting anymore. You're it's muscle memory.
Natural. Yeah.
So you train yourself daily to anticipate there should be problems daily. If not, I'm concerned I'm not hearing something.
Yeah.
You compartmentalize those problems. You don't brush them under the rug, but you compartmentalize, and it's like an accident on the road, right? The incident response team has to show up. That's you. That's us. You cannot incite panic. You have to clear and have the traffic start flowing around it and be cleaning up and fixing the problem, assess, and pivot. So that's the biggest skill is just really becoming dynamic and training yourself to be ready to pivot and expecting it daily. Yeah. So that's that. But back to your question of one of the challenges, it's really ensuring we had the right team, right, to be able to handle all these different things. You don't want to, same with the offices, we tell them, you don't want to give it to one person to do all this. It doesn't make sense. You want to hire experts. So we do that on a fractional basis if needed. If it's a small job for a client and they just need this, fractional basis, just like we are, it works well for us. If we need to lean on the team because we have clients that need IT and they need back-end administrative and they need financial assistance, well, we have a little finance team. They can split among various clients.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. And so kind of tell me where you're going. You know, what are your goals for the next year, the next couple of years, or?
So again, I'm ready to pivot as needed. What I'd like to do, or what we would like to do, our goal is to now start scaling even larger. We went from 0 to, not big in the overall picture, but big for us. And so now it's time to start strategically marketing and opening the funnels both ways. So, like you said, we do a lot. We did rely on our database of
Sure.
IT clients.
Which is smart.
It is, and it's great, and we'll still do that. But the funnel needs to go both ways.
Yeah,
Now we need to
absolutely.
start marketing for digital marketing, our web design, all of these other pieces. Bring them in this way, and still be able to offer a full suite of solutions if
Yeah.
they want to go that route. But open all these funnels through marketing and strategic planning. Our goal is to, hopefully double or triple in the next 12 to 24 months. So
Yeah, no, I believe in you. I believe in you. You got a good basis for what it is that you're doing. You've got a good background for it and a good base of business already. So no, I believe that you have the data you need to be able to start scaling. So that's exciting. I'm exciting for you. Hopefully we can do this podcast again in a couple of years and sit back and laugh and have a drink at how far you guys have come. So
let's hope.
but tell me this, right? As you're getting started, as you're having that burn the ship moment, tell me what you found, a skill that you possess that you found to be the most valuable skill, right? So something that you knew how to do that was integral to your success, I guess you would say, at the beginning.
So number one, again, that learn to be dynamic. That is a skill. You refine it, but also just overall ability to connect with others and network. I know people think of networking events as, oh, I got to go there to sell. I tell my team, we're not going in to sell anything. We're going to truly network. And it's amazing as you branch out and your circle grows. Number one, a great, fabulous side effect is that you do bring business in. But number two, you surround yourself with other individuals across many industries that have learned. And so you're able to hear a lot of their stories and especially their failures and take that in and be able to apply that to your business and say, this is where we're going to go here, or this is how we're going to pivot because I learned this information from somebody who's been doing it or somebody who's done it across another industry and this piece worked. Being able to identify those areas and plug them in as it applies to your business, that was an important skill starting out.
I agree. I always make a joke whenever I'm like selling as well, because my job is sales. Is very, very much so sales. But I always joke like all of my like sales euphemisms are just like from what I've heard other useful, like other good salespeople say. You find these tidbits that kind of push you closer to the close. They sound really, really good, or they resonate with what you're saying in that moment, right? And I think business is a lot like that too. You have to acknowledge what is working well for other people, and you have to kind of replicate that kind of within your own business, like all the time. Networking is so big to us, right? And so like the podcast actually came from virtual networking, where you were meeting couple hundred people 60 seconds at a time, and we wanted to have a deeper conversation with you, so we started a podcast and started inviting those people on, right? But so often we have the conversation with our clients. They're new to the area, they've just opened a retail location, whatever, and I'm like, you've got to come network with us. Like, you've got to come to these events. These events will make your life so much easier, right? And a lot of them don't take advantage of that because they don't know networking to be a successful ingredient in their industry. You know what I mean? And so that you're talking about going to a networking event to sell, I think that is the knee-jerk reaction to novice networkers. But it's really tripping over dollars to get to pennies is really what it is like you might find a deal. If you go to enough networking events, you're going to find a deal in a room, right?
Sure.
But if you find a meaningful connection with someone that you share like-minded interests with that has an adjacent industry to your business, then you're gonna find clients for life, and referrals. Like it's a different game, but it's learned behavior. You know what I mean? So I can agree with what your assessment of that skill, and the being able to implement that in my own business. I've experienced that as well. What was difficult? What were some of the weaknesses early on, or what did you need to know how to do day one and that you didn't know how to do and you didn't know you needed to know how to do it?
So a lot of things, and the dangerous part of that is you don't know what you don't know,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
So I always tell people you can do anything, right? You can teach yourself anything, especially entrepreneurs. We wear multiple hats. We really can learn easily. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. And that was a hard lesson for me to learn as somebody under budgetary constraints starting out and really wanting to wear all these different hats and getting excited and passionate about what we're doing. I had to really learn by making the mistake that it's oftentimes better to prioritize and hand to the experts what the experts do best, whether that's the financial team, whether that's marketing. Let them do it in a fraction of the time. Let them do it better than I would have done it, and also free me up to do the things that I do best, right? And grow our business. If you're working in your business, which we started out doing that mistake, you have to an extent, but when you're working in the business and not on the business, it's almost impossible to scale.
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, it definitely is. And on that note, what was that experience like? Like, not only the realization part of it, of like realizing that that we're gonna have to figure out a way to be working on the business and not in the business, but how do you identify the pieces that you need to be able to transition yourself to that space?
So that's where that networking comes back into play. It's not just about sales, right? It's about learning from others. And as your network and circle grows, you meet people in very diverse situations and across all industries. And so it's fabulous because you can now lean on this person to say, hey, I know you used somebody to do this, or that was some great marketing over here. Who did you use? And you get a lot of referrals that way, not just as somebody who's going to be paying you as a client, but as a referral out to what do you need. And sometimes you don't even know. That's another thing, is that's why we launched our business coaching division at Next Level. We have a lot of small businesses that come in and it's the same thing. I don't know what I don't know, and I here's where I want to be.
Yeah.
Here's where I am. I don't know how to get here and who I need and what I need.
Yeah.
So that's where we come in. I always say you can't see the forest through the trees, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you're in it. You can't see from the inside, but an objective third party, they can come in.
For
and
sure.
so you want to rely on reliable, trustworthy advice coming in, and you still want to analyze it. Always, that was another big mistake.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of failures. Let's be honest. You're gonna have
You
failures.
should.
I'm gonna continue to
There's
have
no
failures.
successful business that doesn't have that catalog of stuff that you messed up. You know what I mean?
You're gonna have them. Failure doesn't define you; it refines you. That's what I always tell people. But it's very important to learn from it. You learn more during failure than success. And so we took, it's easier for me to see on the outside, this is what you would benefit from. This is what you need. I'm objective. When I'm inside even my own business, I have to seek outside objective opinions, because when you're in it, you can't always see what you need, and you have a tendency to emotionally connect and hang on to something too long. I made that mistake. I kept a business way too long, kept saying, well, if I just do this, and if I just, exactly. And then you find out, you know what? We should have cut ties a long time ago and either close it down or sell it back then, because we ultimately had to do that anyhow. So,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
No, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Just for my own knowledge, tell me, and the way that I ask this question is a little bit unique, I think, but I want to know about your ideal client, right? And I want you kind of to describe it to me in 3 ways, right? I want you to describe to me like your pay the bills client, your most normal client, your go on vacation client, and then I want to know like your retirement client.
Okay. So we'll start with ideal client. My ideal client might be a little different. It's actually somebody who is in a situation like we were, I don't know what I'm doing, it's a mess, because I'm able to use that as a case study of biggest transformation,
Sure.
right? So, and it's not boring, it's a challenge. You get in there and it's so rewarding to be able to help somebody who's struggling and get them up to where they're successful. So, ideal client. As far as for, just vacation client or reliable and long-term retirement client, of course, you want those clients where it's pretty basic. Here's the scope of what I need. It's very straightforward. They're very direct with me. I'm able to put together a plan, and it's kind of automated within the team, right? They're
Sure.
able to just fulfill it, keep them happy, keep it working. And as long as it's working, they're golden. And
Sure.
it's just set up on automatic. You receive your monthly payment, and you continue to fulfill your monthly obligations.
Sure.
But again, you lose the excitement, you lose the challenge, and you lose the ability to use that, number one, to learn from it for other clients to benefit them, but also you lose the ability to say, I took this person from 0 to 100, not just we kept them sitting here at 50%.
Sure.
You took them 0 to 100. So, I don't know if that really answered your
No, it does.
question, but
It does.
that's our ideal client.
As an objective third party, right? As a completely unbiased third party, it seems to me like your business is a hop skipping away from being able to take that franchise consultant direction as well. There are businesses that are generating a lot of cash, right? That are very successful for themselves. And the most profitable thing that they could do for their business is find a way to put it in a box and sell it to other people. You have that skill set innately from what it is that you've done in your life and in your business, right? So that seems like an opportunity for something that maybe you already have in the works, or something that is that's interesting to me. But I know there are people that want to literally put their business in a box and sell it to other people and make royalties off of it. And it seems like you have a lot of that structure within your own business to be able to replicate some of that success. So I know you have the experience in that world. So maybe something to think about, maybe something you've already thought about. But that's interesting to me. So.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. It's in the works. That will be a new division that's launched hopefully early 2024.
Yeah.
So we'll see as that rolls out, and we'll evaluate it then. Like I said, everything's not a success, and we've learned you evaluate, give it its fair share of effort and time, and you have to know also that some things, if they fail, they fail. We pull the plug. If they take off or a piece of it takes off, then we pivot and we move in that direction. So we'll see. The
thing I love about that is you really only have to have one go well for it to be
That's right.
successful. You know what I mean? And I have some friends in that world. The person that Jay was talking about earlier that kind of was telling us some stuff about franchising would definitely be more than happy to be an asset to you. Her specialty also is not only franchising businesses and taking you from one location to 30 locations, but taking, like, if you're a barbecue place and you have this signature barbecue sauce, she goes through the process of like bottling the barbecue sauce and making it its own unique label, and then getting it on the shelves at Kroger and Publix and all those things as well. So she does that, the large like store direct to consumer deals as well. So she's super sharp. She is just way smarter than me, right? And like, I'm a pretty smart guy, and she is just super uber smart. But I'll be more than happy to make that introduction to you if you're interested.
That's
like
fantastic.
I said, she's brilliant. But yeah, no, that world's cool. So I have faith that you have that meticulous eye for stuff like that. So
We'll see.
yeah, for
Time
sure.
will tell.
Yeah, that is true. Well, the last question I have for you, kind of the way that we always, I guess last two questions, the way that we always end the podcast is, how do people find you if they want to chat with you, if they need what it is that you sell? How do they come about, in contact with you?
So they can obviously call the office, or a lot of people go to the website, just nextlevelconnected.com, and they click on the contact us, and it has the little form to fill out, comes right in, and we reach out to them and connect.
How do you find the managed IT stuff, just in case somebody wants to?
So again, they can go to woozit.com, WOOSIT.com. It'll take them right to that page, and again, the little contact form, along with our phone number and all of our information.
Cool.
And there it is.
Cool. And then I want to dive back into that burn the ship moment, right? I want to know what it feels like, Right. Most people can boil down that to, like, I call it a light switch moment, like where you flip the lights on and you realize everything is going on around you, right?
Yeah.
Most people can boil that down to one moment, even if it was something I started on the side. Like, most people can remember that. A lot of people, it's when they quit their job or when they got that first big client or whatever it is. But tell me about that experience specifically. Tell me what, emotionally it feels like to commit and go all in on your own business.
So it is extremely exciting. I mean, it's like exhilarating. Like I said, I'm a competitive dancer, so that same rush you get on the stage when the crowd goes wild and starts standing up and cheering when you come on stage, and they see how old we are. But that same feeling, that's actually that exciting, exhilarating feeling you get. But I'll be honest, it kind of is almost like you're mixing like a potion that with that total anxiety fear. So it's like it just rushes back and forth. You have one moment of, fear gripping. Oh my gosh, we did this. Like, we better make this work. There's nothing else. It's just us. And then there's also that excitement that kind of overrides it. And the passion takes over and it's like, all right, let's go. We got this. So
Right.
it's a mix, but it's exhilarating. It's exciting and it's also freeing. You feel very independent. You feel like I'm in control of this. I've got this. So again, a little scary
Yeah.
to be in control, but also a good feeling of knowing it's on me. So
Sure.
whatever happens, mistakes, successes, they're because of me.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah, there's nothing more satisfying than being an entrepreneur. I truly believe that. Maybe watching your kids be born, maybe. That's 9 or 10 months of like crazy life, and then you get that moment of instant gratification. But I think that maybe is the only rivaling aspect to like really building a business. It's a difficult thing, and the thing that I like to harp on for all the people that are listening is that there are people like you and I that will absolutely help you, because we've been through that process before, and I would absolutely love to help people kind of push that snowball down the hill and let it get bigger and bigger and see what they turn it into, because I'll tell you, there's nobody that can help you start your business, and there is nobody that can help make it successful for you. You know what I mean? Like you have to put the time and the energy into it, or else other people won't put their time and energy into it. So I appreciate you. I appreciate your energy. Most of all, right?
well, thank you for having me. Super exciting. I always love connecting with others and being able to share, and hopefully any little tidbit will resonate and help somebody else in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think if the people that are listening to this podcast approach their business in the way that you approach the things in your life, then their chances of succeeding grow. So,
But thank you.
well, thank you. I appreciate you coming. Appreciate you allocating the time. And like I said, we'll definitely do this again in the future and see where your business evolves to, because I feel like you're shape shifting as it goes. Everything is changing and moving really, really quickly and growing for you guys, which is a really cool place to be. And this is a cool opportunity to take a little screenshot of it and then come back and watch it again later. So, I'll put this out. That computer has been fighting for its life over there. Honestly, I'm gonna have to export a bunch of footage and then so I'm a little backed up on the editing side of things. But sometime in the next like 2 weeks, I'll put this out into the world, and then we'll do it again. We'll do it
I
again in
look
the
forward
future.
to it.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming. This has been Burn the Ship. Unless you have anything else for the audience, the floor is yours. So
Oh, good luck.
yeah, thank you. Good luck is a good way to end.